Well, try not to get whiplash. A U.S. appeals court is reinstating all of the Trump tariffs as the process plays out in the courts. And this comes after a judicial double whammy. Two separate courts ruling against his trade duties, with one claiming President Trump overstepped his authority. The White House is fighting back against what they are calling a judicial coup, with Caroline Leavitt coming out with guns blazing.
The president's rationale for imposing these powerful tariffs was legally sound and grounded in common sense. Three judges of the U.S. Court of International Trade disagreed and brazenly abused their judicial power to usurp the authority of President Trump to stop him from carrying out the mandate that the American people gave him. There is a troubling and dangerous trend of unelected judges inserting themselves into the presidential decision-making process. America cannot function if President Trump, or any other president for that matter, has their sensitive diplomatic or trade negotiations railroaded by activist judges.
All right, so this is the process that we have, and there's a judicial branch, Emily, that's weighing in here, and the Trump administration is going to appeal, so we're a little bit in limbo. Where do you see it?
Yeah, and these are administrative law judges, right? So it's sort of on a different channel that I think a lot of people don't realize has really a big effect on our country, including the Social Security Administration and a lot of different agencies. But then it gets sort of put into the track of obviously the circuit court and eventually SCOTUS. Look, the senior judge had this quote, which was, "It may be a very dandy plan, but it has to meet the statute." So at the end of the day, these judges argued that this particular statute did not levy the authority to the president to deal with tariffs, right? Only embargoes and sanctions. And then they said, and even if it did, this doesn't rise to the level of a national emergency because we've been sitting and drowning in these tariffs for 49 years. Now, the counter argument to that, the White House was like, no, it is an emergency. Actually, just because we've been sitting in it doesn't make it less acute. And also, indeed, I do have the authority. So now that was stayed. It will go, I'm sure, to the Supreme Court. And also, though, note this, that I think they're going to start just leveraging all of these tariffs under other statutes. So they're going to say, fine, I can't use this particular one. I'm going to start leveraging the same analogs in others.
Do you think Congress would pass any other laws, Jesse, to see if they could, like the Republicans
Congress?
figure out a way?
No.
Yeah.
Congress isn't going to do anything about this. He has the statutory authority, but you're right, Emily. They just have to invoke a different act. You could invoke the Trade Act of 1974, of 1930. You could expand it to different sectors because steel, aluminum, and auto tariffs are still on. You could say it's a national security threat. You could say it's retaliatory because another country is discriminatory. These things are going to go up no matter what. No matter what the courts say, he has the authority to do it. And he said the other day, and it was brilliant, we're not trying to make socks. We're not trying to make T-shirts. This is just to reshore critical industries like military, medicine, aerospace, tech. Everybody gets that because you want to be self-reliant in case there's a war in Asia, in case there's another pandemic or a cyber attack. We learned a lot of lessons in the last few years, and we got it right. The economy's great, okay? The jobs numbers are good. There's no inflation. Energy's down. The stock market's good. The GM CEO just came out and she supports Trump's tariffs. NVIDIA's earnings, incredible. We're doing good right now. We just have to keep it moving.
Hey, Hammer should have been in a better mood. He likes it when NVIDIA does well. He was complaining about the weather today, Greg. What do you think about this?
That's a great question, Dana. I've been waiting for that all day. I think I have a new name for the Democrats. I call them the unelectables. Who ran the White House? The unelectables. Who tried to block deportation? The unelectables. Who tried to stop Trump's economic policy? The unelectables. Have you noticed in absence of ideas, argument, or even thoughtful debate, they rely on lawsuits? They realize they can't win in the world of ideas or in the common sense terrain of public opinion, so they replace arguments with injunctions. Injunctions, Jessica. Maybe this is the new Democratic Party, just people in robes whose sole purpose is to deny the will of the people. Because wherever there is the will of the people on issues like crime or the border or trans, the Dems are like that kid that's picked last at dodgeball. No one wants, they can't even trust him to ride the bench, which is where they now reside.
What's interesting is that it was a group of small businesses through a libertarian group that brought the lawsuit that won. And so they did have standing, and I guess that will be the issue going forward. The Supreme Court will have to look at.
And last I checked, libertarians are a denomination of Republican, like Rand Paul.
I don't think so.
Really? Well, that
you could be a libertarian left, libertarian right.
Well, you're not. If you're Rand Paul, you're a libertarian right. And he's the number one advocate against these tariffs, talking about how unconstitutional they are.
And he's debating it.
Great. Yeah, I enjoy it all the time.
I love debates.
Ben Shapiro, CEO of Walmart, Jeff Bezos, one of the big contributors. They're all against them because they're bad for the economy.
I'm talking about these injunctions.
Well, there
Answer
are
the question.
I
have
stop
no
interrupting
questions,
me.
Your Honor.
It's not even your turn to ask questions. They're doing their usual dance, which is I'm a victim. Like Peter Navarro tried it with Liz Clayman earlier in the 3 p.m. hour. He goes, oh, this rhino judge who was appointed by Donald Trump. Every single important plank of his platform is being taken down in court because it's unlawful and it's unconstitutional. Immigration, tariffs, education, and visas, targeting the law
Where
firms.
has the immigration plank been taken down?
Every single time that the Alien Enemies Act comes up, it gets laughed out
Getting
of court.
bad hombres out of the country, lickety
That's
split.
not what no. We're talking about sending people to seek.
There's like one guy,
That's
Jessica.
not just one guy. It's hundreds of people.
And where is the Maryland dad, by the way?
Yeah.
Still in El
happened in
Salvador.
Maryland?
Oh my God!
Dad.
So the court
This is
said they had
funny,
to bring him
okay.
back, and he never came back.
Just-
So who cares, right?
Just for the record, he's doing this because he knows that I'm right about
You
it.
brought it up.
Because
I'm just
right. I brought up
responding to your erroneous assertions.
in just the last month, 96% of federal district court rulings went against the Trump administration
You can
because they are
find
not
those
following
judges
those.
anywhere.
All right, but we're still moving
They're
the bad
Reagan
hombres out of here.
appointees. They're Trump appointees. They're Bush appointees.
It's all appealable.
It will be
Great.
appeal, and like, look,
Have a
but they could,
blast.
and they could win in the end, but they might lose in the end. So all I was saying is they got to have a backup plan.
Yeah, what's the backup
Assuming
plan,
that
Jess?
they do.
What, for
We'll
tariffs?
find out.
We
All
don't
right.
need one.
Up next, San Francisco tries to grade for equity, and it gets an F in reality.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.